Let's go.
Welcome to another edition of the glittery bones of advertising. Today we have some glitter back, my friend.
Welcome back. Thank God it was getting a little...
Welcome back. A week without the glitter, back to the OG last week, and I've got to say it was pretty polished performance.
It was amazing how quickly you just slipped back into that rut. That channel, that finely tuned machine that we are.
Indeed we are. So what have we got this week to talk about? What's the intro, Gabs? If you're to provide us with a quick intro before we take a look, what are we taking a peek at?
My intro for this week would be, is bigger better?
Love it.
Yeah.
Depends who you talk to.
Without further ado, let's just take a little look-see at this one, shall we?
Hey there, little fella. Are you lost?
No, I'm good.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We are going to go and find your parents. And...
Dude, I am a fully grown burger.
Wait, what? I'm so sorry. Right, yes, sorry. It's just from this angle. You look like a little...
Yes, just don't.
Yeah, no.
Leave it.
Honestly, mate.
I get it.
Can't apologise enough.
Okay. Well, what do you think of that?
As you can tell, I was hungry this morning when I was coming up with what.
Oh, I can start. Can I start, please? Can I start, please?
Of course you can.
Yes.
Go for it.
Yes, you may.
I like the 15-second version of this, the two sandwiches, the sandwich, the 2 foot long sub, whatever it is, monster sub, whatever it is they're selling, and the Big
A
Mac.
foot long.
The foot long, yeah, but it looks longer than a foot.
Okay, let's call it 2 foot. It's a 2 foot long.
It's a 2 foot long. It's 18 inches. It's, half a metre, whatever it is.
Okay.
We were sitting there talking to the Big Mac, and it says, "You look a lot bigger in your pictures." I thought that was really funny. Really, just a delightful little gag. Got me smiling. The ad with the feasting and everyone talking, I liked it. I thought it was like just people kind of wolfing into a sandwich, just kind of made you, if I liked sandwiches, I reckon I'd like the ad, but I'm gluten-free. Subway doesn't do anything for gluten-free people, which is an oversight. I'm going to write to the management and complain.
Right.
And they don't. It's just one of those things. So, yeah, I don't do bread, and it's not so I'm not the target market at all. But I like the gusto with which they were celebrating a sandwich. I thought, if you like a sandwich, then this is the place to go. That's all.
I love the cheekiness of this one. I love the ability to go, you know what, Macca's is pretty big, but we're going to have a crack. We're going to have a little poke at them. So it really connected with me. I too, JD, I'm not a frequenter of Subway. There was a time when I would spend a little bit of time there and enjoyed a Subway every now and then, but I really did giggle, and it made me think, how do you come back from that as McDonald's? Like, what would you say? Because if you make mention of, the Big Mac, or you put the Big Mac, all they're going to do is put the Big Mac next to the Subway, and it's still going to be eclipsed by it. So do you just shut up and go, yeah, you got us? Or do you come back with something saying, I don't know, you're not a burger joint, or whatever they're going to come back and say? But it really got me, and I thought the cleverness behind it, and I guess the balls, they were very, very, courageous in having a crack at Macca's like that. So for me, top effort. Loved it. Enjoyed it.
Agreed. I'm a Hamish and Andy fan for years and years and years. So as soon as I heard their voices, I loved it immediately before, even finishing the ad. I thought it was super cheeky. I wonder if it was really a Big Mac. What's the legalities around showing other brands' products? Was it like a faux Big Mac? Was it a lookalike but not the actual thing? But I think the concept itself is just so simple. Like, it's the Big Mac is not that big in comparison to this. If you're hungry, get a Subway. So yeah, I think the simplicity was brilliant. I think the choice of using Hamish and Andy were brilliant, because they are they were always playing off each other and kind of bagging each other out. So I think as personas, that worked exceptionally well. And yeah, it kind of like, if I am hungry, maybe I will go to Subway. Maybe Macca's won't hit the spot with the Big Mac, which is smaller than a palm.
I don't know.
So, yeah,
I
so
reckon you're wedded to McDonald's. You love it.
I've kind of got, we were chatting about this the other day. I've kind of gone off it. I'm shifting to the Hungry Jacks. I just don't know. There's something about the Macca's chips that just don't hit the spot anymore.
Right. What you
But
want to do if you want
if
to go
they
to
want to
a
sponsor
fish
us
shop,
for free food, I will.
go
I
down,
will
go
too.
down to your local fish and chip shop and get them to make you a proper burger.
Yeah,
You'll-
nothing
you'll-
compares,
Andrew's,
does it?
like Andrew's in Albert Park, free plug. The Burger Brothers, the Royals, the all quality two-hand burgers.
I think there's a place for the like down and dirty in the car, just a sneaky burgs. But if it is just a sneaky burgs in the back streets or the Macca's car park, but parking like between cars that don't have people in it, because then otherwise you're kind of like sneakily eating next to someone else that's sneakily eating, and then it becomes awkward, and you're kind of like, I don't know if anyone else feels that, but like on occasions you're like, oh.
It's like there's a great ad in that though, Caro, like a little like a hookup lane or like a lover's point or something.
They
and
meet together.
No one's making out. They're just going into
taking their takeaway to like a beautiful lookout. Oh dear, I love it. Anyway, we've gone off topic as per usual. Licious. What did you think, Medea?
I picked it because A, it was super simple, B, the voices, but I also thought like from a strategic point of view, it's interesting to see Subway, because I recall Subway and all of their campaigning has been eat fresh and like trying to be the healthy alternative to a McDonald's or a Hungry Jack's. So I felt like this was a very different direction for them, because instead of saying we're healthier, they're saying like they're sort of moving away from that. And I think consumers, I think that's more realistic, because consumers are sort of thinking, it's still, takeout, and it's not as healthy as they portray it to be. And maybe some research dictated this approach for them. But additionally, off the back of it, like I think the size thing is also about price increases. Like I think a Big Mac right now these days is like, I don't know, close to $12 just for a Big Mac.
No, it couldn't be $12, could it?
A lot.
I'll Google it.
It is.
Are we talking in a meal, or are we just talking a single burger?
No, just a burger.
Okay, I'll find out.
Burgers no more than 7, I'm sure.
But I went through Macca's drive-thru and I got a hash brown and it was like $2.
So expensive. 2 hash browns and a coffee was like $12. Like,
12 hash browns. Hash browns, like go to the fish and chip shop. The hash browns like they're beautiful. Potato cakes. Eschew the hash brown and go to the potato cake. A bit of batter, a little bit of potato, deep fry it for as long as you like, and then bring it out.
It's all about availability, though, JD. You can't get a potato cake at 6 o'clock in the morning. That's when the hash browns just hit.
No, not unless you go out to Sunshine or Heidelberg or one of those like where the workers live. Workers, there's pubs open at 6 o'clock in the morning. There's fish and chip shops open at that time because of the night shift.
I think we're looking at about $7.30-ish just for the burger by itself. If you want to put it into a meal, you are looking at about $12, $13.
Okay. Well,
so yeah, it's not cheap.
I think your point still stands to bear, Gabs, that there's a significant increase in cost. And I remember the days when a Big Mac was a hell of a lot cheaper than whatever it is right now. But when you look at it relative to the size of a Subway, and a foot long, I don't know, I think a foot long can be like $20 because by the time you put something decent in it, it gets pretty pricey. So, but they've set all of that aside and just said, don't worry about price. You want something big? Come see us.
Yeah, I would have loved to see them go 4 all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cos, cheese, tomato, pineapple, coleslaw, anything you like, put it on. Like just
right. So the full menu from Subway.
Yeah,
it's not 2 all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed
not
bun.
just
It's like,
that.
not just it's
Are
like that
you
makes
in your
up this
World
much.
Series poster, mate, from being able to say that?
That's
Remember
right.
those?
Yes,
Dustin?
thank you very much. Yes.
Ah,
And if you do 20 push-ups where you go and get your poster, you actually got a free little cap as well. So
stop it.
you do. Westlake Stadium, Adelaide, 1970.
Well, I think
whatever it is.
I think we've just uncovered the retort from McDonald's, and that may well be that they put 2 Big Macs side by side and say, still cheaper than a Subway.
Yeah,
So there's your clever retort, Mr. McDonald's and Mrs. McDonald,
beats
whoever
one.
you are, McDonald.
Yeah,
Get
don't take
your
the
eyeballs
Subway.
over that.
Don't take the Subway. Take the limousine of sandwiches. Yeah.
Why
Okay.
fill one hand
Let's-
when you can fill both for the same
Let's-
price?
Let's
Double
shift up
park
a
yourself.
little bit and stop
Oh, yeah.
supplying brilliant ideas to others. Let's shift it up a little bit and
Copyright
challenge
background,
ourselves
2023.
to take a little crack at the most difficult question in advertising.
Oh, please.
Yes.
How
What
about
is it
that?
today?
Okay, so this week's most difficult or the hardest question in advertising is, so would you rather? So would you rather have a smaller client that trusts you implicitly and gives you the creative license to create epic campaigns and ads, or
On a small budget.
on a smaller budget?
Okay.
Or would you rather a larger budget client who asks you to create campaigns as prescribed by them, and there's no room for creative interpretation, regardless of your expertise or opinion?
So production house versus creative. Just do rather than think.
Does anyone want to
Just
I'd
do
have
on a small budget.
I'd have
Just
to go
do on
the
a big budget, don't you mean?
No. Yeah, I'd
Sorry.
have to go the creative freedom on a smaller budget because it would be great experience though to be able to work on massive budgets and these big kind of productions. But I think if you aren't doing your job in terms of, coming up with these ideas and stuff, I think that would wear thin pretty quickly. So for me, it would be smaller budgets, but more creative freedom.
So Gabs, just again, being crystal clear here that this is all you do. You don't have the opportunity to go one big client this is all you do.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have to say, I reckon, as much as I would love to say I would like to work on the smaller budget clients, my general experience with smaller budget clients is it's all social. They're all because the budgets are so small, they're trying to make a big impact with no money at all. I would go the other way. I would say, give me a big budget client because I understand the pressures they're under from inside their organisation. And I reckon you can work with them to help them come up with a better idea that you can work with.
That sounds like fence sitting.
Yeah, you can let them have an idea as long as you. The trick is to let them have your idea.
No, JD. No.
I'll go with the big budget. As much as it would be frustrating, it would be. I reckon if I was guaranteed that I could have that through all of the different rotations of marketing managers that they would invariably have because their ads would fail, I'd take the big budgets because those marketing managers will not last.
Okay. It's really easy for me on this one. If I wasn't creatively challenged, I'd die. I couldn't do just, and particularly if I found that we were doing things that weren't working with big budgets, I'd really get super frustrated. So I'd have to go with the little budgets and, potentially be walking everywhere rather than being able to afford to put petrol in a car. But nonetheless, I'd be satisfied and I'd be walking tall and walking happy. So I'm saying small budgets and give me the chance to be creative and write lines and then turn them into pictures. And, that's me for sure. I have to.
Hats off to you, both of you. Yeah, I'm taking the hat off to you as well.
Yes, you are. I'm with Craig and Carol on this one. I think smaller budgets, but being able to be creative and having clients that really trust and value your expertise would fill my cup a lot more than constantly trying to push it up a hill.
Yeah. And the unfortunate thing for marketing managers in all kinds of positions like that is you get what you deserve. So if your ads are shit, there's every chance you're to blame. Yeah, or you have to share some of the blame or take some of the responsibility. No, it depends what language you like to use.
Well, my friends, that was another edition of the Glittery Bones with Advertising. We'll be back next week. Don't go chasing.
Bones with advertising.
It's going to let it slide.
What did I say? Advertising?
With advertising.
Glittery
Bones
bones
with
bones.
advertising.
Yeah, with advertising. It's just like a side salad. It's like the Big Mac to the Subway. Just like a main meal. Nice work. Toodaloo, kiddies.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.